Hello everyone, my name is Maxwell Montgomery and I will be discussing GASB 377, a Senate bill in Georgia that essentially bans the talk of any discriminatory topics pertaining to race, skin color, or ethnicity. These divisive concepts, per like how it was versed in the bill, were outlined by Senator Beau Hatchett with the ideal to sort of mitigate the type of conversations that are happening in the classroom, with hopes to have more collective conversations when talking about any of these things in the past, and as opposed to the present, to stop them, to reduce the sort of polarizing effects of talking about today's issues, since how everybody has a lot of different opinions. In favor of this bill, essentially Beau Hatchett was questioned on why this is justified, because 99% of teachers wouldn't teach this. And he said that because we have laws protecting students, he compared it essentially, we have laws protecting students against predator teachers, we should have laws protecting students against bigoted teachers. This could be a hasty generalization, but we have plenty of laws that account for that minority, the small amount of incidents that might happen that could endanger us. And essentially he's saying to protect the needs of the many, we still have to consider the few cases that we might have and take necessary measures to go against it. So whether that be bigoted teachers or whether that be bigoted students, discontinuing the conversation altogether, he thinks would serve everybody as a whole. As a con for the arguments, essentially students are worried that their right to free speech is being suppressed. They're worried that they won't be able to bring their whole selves to school with all of their experiences, with all their culture, and have productive conversations so that we can get to the bottom of this inherently destructive discriminatory acts and teach and learn from each other why this is a very bad thing. On the top left-hand corner, we have a picture of students protesting the hashtag HandsOffGeorgia. It's a hashtag that's used to essentially defy the bill. They're protesting in front of a government building. It's a sort of opposition hashtag. On the bottom left-hand corner, we have a photo of a teacher using racial slurs in class, and this is what students are afraid of, that essentially silencing these conversations are going to allow these teachers to still have jobs, to still thrive. We're not really protecting these students. We're just giving these teachers an environment to operate within without actually having to talk about the situations themselves. So they could still hold on to these political ideals that are harmful, but since they don't have to talk about them, they never get rooted out, and they can continue working. So students do not want this because they feel like it's going to cause more division. It's going to lead to skewed ignorance in these discussions, because you could talk about the past, but the present is the most relevant as to how we move on to the future. And if students have certain questions, these teachers might suppress, some hatred and lead to resentment. In conclusion, I believe that SB 377 is a harmful bill. I believe students should have a right to belong and bring their entire selves to school and discuss all of their issues and experiences when it comes to where they come from, what they look like, and what their experience has been. I don't think that's only for minorities. I think that's also for the predominantly, white schools and stuff. Or if you're from another country and you don't necessarily know how these things operate in America, you should be able to contribute to this argument as to maybe how absurd it is, or how surprising or alarming or scary that it might be. Irregardless of the predominant demographic at a school, I feel like everyone's opinion is valid, and I don't think that skin color, any of these things, ethnicity or race, would dictate how these conversations will go. It will influence how students may feel, but hopefully with the guidance of the 99.99% of teachers that do not believe in these ideals, we can come to an understanding and essentially eradicate racism in the long run, so that 0.01% of teachers no longer have to work in schools, essentially. Here are my works cited. Thank you, everyone.